PSG 2, Liverpool nil. As the title suggests, Liverpool were beaten, victimised, and conquered by the defending French League and Champions League. Nothing that nobody was not predicting. Nothing that comes out of the blue, nothing that is shocking, nothing that nobody, like I say, wasn't predicting or anticipating here. We were all anticipating this. So why is it still frustrating? Why is it still annoying that we go through this every single game, knowing the outcome before a ball is even kicked, and yet here we are talking about the same stuff over and over again. Here we are discussing it again and again, and we're going to be saying the same things over and over again. We're going to be looking at the same problems over and over again, the same issues. Why is it still frustrating? Why is it still annoying? And why? Why is he still here as our head coach? Why is Arnie Slot still here? It absolutely baffles me as to what is going on at this football club this season. The only positive of last night, the only thing that is good about last night is the fact that we are one game closer to ending this dismal, horrific season. That's the only good thing about last night's performance. We're one game closer to having the summer here, the World Cup's on the horizon. We can forget about Liverpool and club football for a good month or so. But Jesus Christ, we've got a long way to go before we get there. Big up to each and every single one of you that is already here with me. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Do me a massive favor and hit the like button and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And I also encourage each and every single one of you as well to hit up the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about the football, about Liverpool, or any other footballing topics you want to discuss today. I would like to take my mind off of Liverpool today. I would like to talk something else, but of course we have to obviously discuss the post-match reaction to Liverpool's first leg quarter-final defeat to PSG by 2-0 last night. Whether you're popping in just to say hi, whether you're telling me what you're up to today or what you're up to this week or anything along those lines, telling me about your day or anything like that, really appreciate you being here, guys. And also, like I say, if you're wanting to talk football and you're wanting to talk Liverpool, then do contribute to the chat. Otherwise, it's going to be another rant and it's going to be another rave and it's going to be another frustrating talk show. No better way to put it. Because we're going to be sat here saying the same things that we have been saying all season. We're going to be sat here saying about the same problems that we have all season. Asking the same questions we've been asking all season. Like, I just want this season over and done with. I want this horrific, dismal, pathetic excuse for a season to be over and done with. Remember in the summer when there was lots of hope, lots of optimism, lots of excitement? It's incredible how in the space of several months, all of that has been replaced with hatred and dread. I hate what we've become, and I dread every single time it's match day. And the frustrating thing is that even though I predict the outcomes of these games, I predict for Liverpool to get destroyed. I predict for Liverpool to lose. The frustrating thing is that I'm still annoyed and frustrated when the full-time whistle goes and my prediction comes true. Obviously, partially, I want my prediction to be false. But at the same time, when there's no fight, when there's a lack of effort, that's what gets me really annoyed the most. And that's exactly what happened last night. I know PSG are top tier. I know they are outstanding. I know that PSG are at the pinnacle of European and world football right now. I know that. But I still expect my team to fight, show some passion. And we didn't do that. Partially falls down on the players. Ekatike was horrendous. Wirtz was ineffective. Gravenberch, useless. Konate, barring the one good challenge he put in the second half, pointless being there. Frimpong, ineffective. It was a horrendous showing from everybody. The only player that can leave the pitch with some sort of credit to his name was Mamadashvili. Because if it wasn't for a combination of Mamadashvili and PSG not taking their chances, this could have been double figures. This scoreline could have been in the 8s, 9s, or like I say, double figures of a first leg. 2-0 flatters Liverpool. 2-0 absolutely, positively flatters Liverpool. It really, really does. It should have been more. And had it not been for Ousmane Dembele, who, for whatever reason, seemingly channeled his inner Darwin Núñez last night, he could have had 2, maybe 3 goals. If it wasn't for Mamadashvili and for PSG, it would have been more. It would have been more. Liverpool were useless. Liverpool were ineffective. Liverpool were passive. Liverpool didn't offer anything. We even went to a back five. We changed formation to be more defensive, and we were still useless because PSG walked through our defense time and time again, because for whatever reason, we also decided at the same time of being a back five and only having one up front to press high. I can't think of anything more counterintuitive. This manager is completely clueless. I don't need coaching badges. I don't need stars or whatever the hell they give from the FA to qualify you as a football manager to know that doing those two things specifically are counterintuitive. And yet, last night, I watched as Ibrahim Konate was virtually playing as a right winger for most of the game. I watched as Joe Gomez was out on the left wing with Hakimi. I watched as Liverpool went man-to-man on one of the most brilliantly well-worked, oiled machines of PSG, a team that is so fluid, that can interchange, so flexible, telepathic almost, in they know what each other is thinking on the pitch. I watched us do all of those things against PSG. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, this manager's absolutely clueless. This manager has to be the most brain dead manager that has ever managed my football club. He hung them out to dry last night. He hung those players out to dry. I will defend the manager on one point. That one point being he had to change something up last night. And going back 5 may have been it. Because it did seem to confuse PSG for a while. It did seem to confuse them in the way that they weren't as fluid. They weren't as slick or as easy on the eye as we tend to see PSG. It took them a while to get to grips with what Liverpool were doing. It kind of worked for a little bit. But then after a while, especially once the first goal went in, PSG realised that there was no threat from Liverpool whatsoever. No threat from Liverpool whatsoever. Even the subs that we had on the bench to bring on, Isak coming back from injury, Salah was on the bench, Engamoa was on the bench. Salah and Engamoa weren't used. The others were, though. Ineffective when they came on. And not only that as well, but it took him until the 78th minute to make a change. And when he did make a change, he made 4 at once. Almost as if to say, oh, I forgot I could make subs. Best use them. Then he made 4 at once when we were 2-0 down. And the game could have been worse. Like I say, PSG missed chances. How Konate did not give away a penalty in the dying embers of the game, I'll never know. I'll never know how the referee missed that one or how VAR even missed that one. It was total shambles from a team that failed to land a single punch on PSG. PSG did not have to come out of second gear to beat us. They just absolutely wiped the floor with us without breaking a sweat. Without breaking a sweat. As I say, don't get me wrong, you can go on individual players who are absolutely useless or ineffective. Wirtz had one option ahead of him. That was Ekitike. Ekitike was useless last night. So he didn't really have much to go on. Everybody else, ineffective. And I look at the manager for that. Again, it's not all on Slot. It is to do with the players as well. But when I look at the way that we're set up, going into a Champions League quarterfinal, first leg, playing this way for the first time, seeing our players not really know where to be, their positioning all over the place, the lack of organisation, the lack of cohesion, all stems from the manager. The root cause is the manager. I don't understand why he's still here. I don't get it. I really, really do not get it. I wanted more fight from us last night. I wanted more fight. I wanted more determination. We didn't get anything of that nature. And it's because I believe the players have stopped caring. The players don't back the manager anymore. The players want this season to be over as much as the fans do. This is a complete and utter waste of time. This is a complete and utter waste of time. And it's a complete and utter waste of time as far as last night goes. It's a complete and utter waste of time as far as this whole season has gone. And now we look at the board again. How have you managed to let this go on for this long? Why have you let this go on for this long? What's the rhyme? What's the reason? Nothing's gotten any better since the beginning of the season. It's been awful. It's been awful. But yet we've continued down this path of being ineffective, of being poor, of being predictable, of being repetitive. And the fans are doing the same thing over and over again. They're as boring and as repetitive as the players that play on that pitch every single week. And here's the kicker as well. It doesn't matter who you put on that pitch. Because guess what? Yesterday we went to a back five. Didn't matter. He hasn't played Cody Gakpo for a couple of games. I wonder what the relationship's like there. He's not played Gakpo for a couple of games. Salah was not there last night. And yet, it doesn't matter who the personnel is. It doesn't matter what the formation is. This side lack fight. This side lack organization. This side lack leadership. This side lack cohesion. There is nothing to cling on to at all. Nothing to cling on to at all. Like I say, the only positive about last night is the fact that we are 90 minutes closer to the end of the season. That's it. Anybody thinking that we could get a good result at Anfield, we could fight back, we could remontada or whatever the hell it is, come back to win, to go through to the semi-finals, I, with the utmost respect, say that you are deluded. 2-0 flattered us last night. It should have been more. It could have been more. I don't know why I'm annoyed. I don't know why I am annoyed when we all said the same thing. We all predicted the same thing. We all saw this coming from a mile away. And yet I am annoyed and frustrated. Let's go to some of your comments here. Big up Tony, who's in the building. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Lovely to have you here with us. Big up Bush Baptist as well. Lovely to have you here, my friend. Says the squad on paper still isn't the best in the world, but it's one of the best in England. But this is nothing more than a group of athletes actually giving up, which you don't often see in any sport. And again, it stems from the manager, bro. It stems from the manager. Like I mentioned it in my previous stream this week. This team, when things go wrong, stop pointing fingers at each other. They point the finger of blame at everybody but themselves. Who has done that throughout the entirety of this season? Arne Slot. Who has thrown his players under the bus when he doesn't need to? Arne Slot. Who, when things have got bad, has not taken things on the chin, has not taken accountability, not just stepped out there and gone, I messed up, this is on me. Arne Slot. You know who would do? Jurgen Klopp. You know who has done in the past? Jurgen Klopp. It's the difference between the two managers there right off the bat. Right off the bat. I am firmly of the impression that a new manager will breathe new life into these players. I am firmly of the impression that a new manager will, for most of the squad, not every single member of the squad, but for most of the squad, will improve them. I'm firmly of that impression. Because this manager seems out of depth, out of ideas. I just don't get why he's still here. I don't get it. Like, any other club would have sacked him by now. Any other club, he would have been long gone before now. He has shot this squad's confidence to pieces. The mentality is on the floor. The first sign of any adversity, and everybody just crumbles. It's appalling. It's absolutely appalling. I'm just so done with this season. I'm so done with this manager. I'm done with this season. I'm just done. Ticket prices going up as well. This will almost make the Scousers think about getting a new season ticket, and that makes Anfield a worse place. It's crazy. It's crazy that we may not get Champions League football this season. We may have to contend with Europa League, Europa Conference League, or maybe even no European football at all. And yet, ticket prices are on the rise. Explain that one to me. Explain that one to me. It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. The board will let this go on when the biggest income of the season was the Taylor Swift gig. I don't want us to turn into Tottenham. I don't want us to turn into Tottenham when you say stuff like that. I mean, they're just as big culprits now. They are just big culprits now due to the fact that they've let this go on for this long. They've let this go on for this long. They've not done anything about it. They could have killed the problem before it became an even bigger problem. And they let it fester. They let it grow. They should have done it after Man United, in my opinion. They definitely should have done it after Nottingham Forest. They most definitely should have done it after PSV. If they wanted to save our season, give us a chance, roll the dice, do a bit of a gamble on our season, they should have done it then. They've let it fester for this long, and now we are paying the price. Big up Nick, who's in the building. Long time no see, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here with us. PSG press strike goals. Like I say, man, they didn't even need to come out of second gear last night. They were in second gear the entire night. They were in second gear the entire night, and they just breezed through us. Zaire Emery was immense. But again, he didn't even need to be. He just needed to turn up, pretty much. And everybody was just letting PSG walk through. Why? Because there's a lack of leadership. There's a lack of organization. There's a lack of discipline. All stemming from a terrible season with a manager who is completely clueless and has got no idea what he's doing. I still can't believe we went one up top and decided to high press. You know, the last time we high pressed a team that was good? Man City. You know what the scoreline was that in that particular game? Man City 3, Liverpool 0. We went toe-to-toe with one of the best technical sides in England. A team that loves it when you press them high because they have the technical players that they can beat the press. So we messed up completely in that game. Then we come to a side who is even better than the best team in England on a technicality level. And guess what? We do the same thing again. We do the same thing again. And they're better at it than Man City. And if their finishing had been up to standard and been up to scratch, it would have been even more embarrassing. It would have been even more humiliating. But lucky for us, Ousmane Dembele was shocking on the night. Lucky for us, Nuno Mendes decided to run the ball out of play rather than fire it into the back of the net. Lucky for us, Mamadashvili made 2 or 3 really good saves in the game. Otherwise, it would have been more. We are embarrassing. No two ways about it. We're embarrassing. We've got a manager who clearly has no idea what he's doing. Tactically, he's all over the place. I just want this season over and done with. I just want this season over and done with. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Big up Jaden. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Lovely to have you here with us. What if the next Liverpool manager is our version of Amorim after Ten Hag? Oh God, I hate to go down the Man United route, but it seems that we already have started with Slot reminiscing a lot of Eric Ten Hag. A lot. Doesn't bear thinking about, to be honest with you. But there is a manager out there who I think is perfect for Liverpool Football Club. That manager's name is Xabi Alonso, and to me, I don't think he's a Ruben Amorim. I think he's much, 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 much better than that. Much better than that. Big up Alien is in the building. Lovely to have you here, says a fellow Fallout fan, Red. Yeah, I love the series. I love the series. The video game and the TV series. Of course. I don't know why I had to say it in that way, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Slot's eyes are like piss holes in the snow. Now they have been for the last 10 games. He doesn't get Liverpool at all. It's you want to know what the interesting thing is about the not getting Liverpool thing? You know, the past few games, he's been more animated than I personally have ever seen him on a touchline. The past few games, I've seen him like proper try to be more animated and be seemingly more charismatic. It seems so forced. It's almost like they've got a word with him and gone, you know what Jurgen Klopp used to do naturally? You need to start doing that. And he's just decided to try and do it and try and reconnect with the Liverpool fans. And it just doesn't work because now it feels forced. Now it just feels so forced what he's trying to do. It, like I say, a lot of the mentality and a lot of the belief and a lot of the mindset originates with your manager and your head coach. Klopp was a fighter. Klopp was charismatic and energetic right the way till the very end, pretty much. That's why the belief was instilled in this club and in this fan base that even in adversity, Liverpool could still find a way out of it. That's why when we went and we faced Barcelona in the second leg of the Champions League, 3-0 down, there was still hope that maybe some sort of miracle could happen where we came back. And look what happened. It did. The amount of times that we would go a goal or two down, but still have the belief and confidence that we could still get something from the game was instilled because Jurgen Klopp's management, because of Jurgen Klopp's charisma, his belief. This guy has nothing of those qualities and characteristics that makes me believe that Liverpool can overcome this. Never has, and probably now never will. It's just a shambles, bro. Big up James in the building. Love to have you here. It says slot out now. Get Humpty Dumpty out now. I completely agree with you. I'm just double checking, but we are 8:33 on Thursday morning, and there has been no club statement yet on Arnie Slot. So, yeah. I mean, if you want a last roll of the dice to try and save your season, this has to be it now. This has to be it. Sack the manager, bring in a new manager, and hope for the best. It's the only thing you can do to attempt to save our season. Ain't going to happen either way. PSG are through. But been a while. Yes, it has, my friend. Yes, it has. But always lovely to have you here with us. Big up, Nick. Absolute real one. Henderson was a good voice on the pitch. That's why he was a good captain. Do you think Virgil van Dijk is actually a good captain? When I watch, I don't hear or see it 9 times out of 10. I do. I genuinely do think he's a fantastic captain. I think he's someone that everyone looks up to, everyone respects, everyone admires. But at the same time, his performances on the pitch have been poor. And I think partially it is down to the lack of protection our midfield offers the centre-backs. But I also think, you know, he's made some really dumb, stupid individual errors. So that's on Van Dijk. But there are a lot of other things that come into play as well. Like I say, this is not just all of these kind of issues are not just it's one person's fault. There are a number of faults, a number of things at play. It's not just down to one particular thing. But in some cases, there are bigger percentages, shall we say, of problems that are down to a certain element, to a certain characteristic, to a certain person. Mainly the root cause being the manager. Thanks for the top 5. Up the Villa. Big up FFT. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you're getting top 5, dude. Easy. You're going to be playing Champions League football for next season, and you know what? You deserve it. Mainly for your first half of the season form, but you deserve it anyway, regardless. And what it now means is that you're probably going to get top 5, and you can give the Europa League a very, very good go as well. So I think you're in for a very successful season, which I wasn't necessarily expecting at the beginning of the campaign. But there you go. That's just the nature of the beast and nature of how football goes. So fair play to Aston Villa and Unai Emery. They got Lion is in the building. Says Slot won you the league. Liverpool fans are ungrateful. Guy's just trolling now. Guy's just trolling now, bro. You can't be serious. You can't see how our season's gone and be like this still. Frimpong, Verts, Kirkes are all Alonso. That's very disrespectful to Slot. Slot's got all the tools. He's got all the gear, but no idea. Slot has got all the gear. He's got all the tools at his disposal, but he's got no idea how to use them. He's useless. Guy is absolutely useless. He's out of his depth. He's out of his mind. I keep saying it, but it's almost like the guy went to Dubai or Ibiza or wherever he went towards the end to party last season, and he was replaced by a synthetic being that is clueless about football. Because the guy last season got it right. 9 times out of 10, he got it right. Whether it was in the build-up to a game or whether it was during the game. The guy got it right. This season, he's got no idea. He's got no idea this season. The guy's going into games. He's choosing the same players, hoping for different results. He's picking the same formation, hoping for different results. He's going up against teams that are playing different styles of play, and he can't figure it out how to counteract them or how to play against them, no matter what the style is, by the way. It could be set pieces, long throw-ins, could be long ball, short ball, it could be high press, low block, mid block. It doesn't matter. New kids on the block. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the system is. The guy can't tactically win a battle. Again, I'll reiterate. PSG are phenomenal. The way they interchange, their flexibility, their fluidity, the way that their players that start in different positions can end up in completely opposite positions, the way that Hakimi can just drift to being in the number 10 role, the way that Doué can drift from the left to the right, to the center, to central midfield, and they all know where the other one is going to be, so they all accommodate for when a player roams is absolutely sensational and phenomenal. And it's one of the reasons why I hope and I pray that Luis Enrique, A, doesn't go to Man City, otherwise we're all doomed. And B, I hope he comes to Liverpool. I would love Alonso, but if we could get 3 or 4 years of Luis Enrique, those would be the most glorious 3 or 4 years of being a Liverpool fan outside of Jurgen Klopp, of course, in my lifetime anyway. Because the football that he plays is just unbelievably exquisite. It is beautiful to watch. But we had nothing. We had nothing. We didn't even have a shot on target. We didn't have a shot on target, and partially it is down to the players and how poor they were on the day. But it's also a story of our season. It's also a story of our season that our build-up play is shambolic. We're relying on set pieces and the opposition basically gifting us opportunities. Our only threat last night pretty much came from Joe Gomez's long throw-ins. And we're the only team this season, we are the only team to have someone who is a specialist at long throw-ins that we can't actually use to our advantage. Joe Gomez's long throw-ins are ineffective. Everybody else has got a long throw-in merchant and they use them to their advantage. We've got one and it's like, oh, we don't know what happens when the ball's in mid-flight. Like, it's a shambles. It really, really is. Hello, it's a shame that the whole world and rival fans is laughing at our club. Big up Dabs is in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. Yeah, I mean, isn't that more evidence that we need to get this manager out of our club? You can tell a lot about how the current state of your club is by how rival fans are treating you. And every rival fan right now is laughing at us. And you know what? I can't blame them. After the summer that we had, after Liverpool fans, you know, myself included, were thinking that this is going to be a historic season. This is going to be a season in which we're going to have trophies galore. We're going to go far in competitions. We're gonna take out the opposition. We're going to take out the challengers and all of that kind of stuff. This is where Liverpool look to dominate. It hasn't panned out that way. And we're rightfully getting mocked for it. We're rightfully getting laughed at. As much as it's painful, as much as it's horrible, it's just something that we have to swallow and, you know, take on the chin and whatever. It's a shambles. And all the belief that was instilled over the years, all of the putting everything in place to build a squad, to build a team, to build a club that resembled some of our glory days back when Liverpool were dominating England, dominating the European scene. Took years to try and re-establish that. All been taken away within the past 18, well, just under 18 months. Since the turn, I said it earlier this week, since the turn of 2004 into 2005, the club has been in a downward spiral. Performances have gone down. Results haven't been the best. We got away with last season, in hindsight now, because of our early season form, which we decided, this is a good winning recipe. Let's tear this up and go for something completely different. Look how that turned out. Big up Goon, who's in the building. It says Klopp's team lost again. I think you mean Slot's team, but I know what you're on about. Dab says, do you think if we get a new coach, Liverpool will come back again, or are we finished now? No, I still firmly believe that a new coach gets more out of this squad than what Slot is getting out of them right now. My firm belief is that these are not terrible players. Like, you could maybe pick the odd one or two and be like, they're probably finished. Like, Andy Robertson's not going to rediscover the form of what he was a few years ago. I think obviously Mo Salah's leaving, so there's no point commenting on Mo Salah. Van Dijk is more human. I still think he could perform to a very, very good level, Van Dijk, but I don't think it will be like his elite best, which he was like last year and a few years prior. So there are maybe one or two in which you can say like they won't get back to their best, or they'll get to a good standard, but nothing like major. But I look at the new signings. Alexander Isak was arguably the second best striker in the Premier League for about 2 or 3 seasons behind Erling Haaland. I look at Florian Wirtz, who was the best playmaker across Europe for 3 or 4 seasons. I look at Jeremy Frimpong, one of the most explosive fullbacks. Decent defending as well. I think his defending is actually somewhat underrated. I think people often go, he can't defend. I think you'll find he can. I look at the drop-off in McAllister. I look at the drop-off in Kanate. I look at the drop-off in Gravenberch. I look at even Gakpo to an extent in his drop-off. And I look at, obviously, Kirkez being one of the best left-backs in the Premier League last season. Maybe the best left-back in the Premier League last season. And not quite hitting the heights since his move. I find it, if it was one or two individuals, I would blame the individuals. And yes, the players do need to take some responsibility for what has happened this season. But for every single player to be performing this poorly, and even some of the better players in recent weeks have been performing poorly. Szoboszlai over the past couple of games hasn't been great. Ekitike over the past couple of months, since coming back from his injury, hasn't been great. They're our better performing ones this season, and they haven't been great at all these recent games and recent weeks. So I fail to properly judge these players until they've got a manager that actually knows what they're doing. Because whilst there is still holes in this squad, whilst you can beef up and reinforce certain positions, like getting in a proper DM, like beefing up the centre-back options, just to name a couple, I still think a new manager with better ideas, with a brain, would actually get this squad firing again on all cylinders. If I'm wrong and I'm proven wrong down the line, I'll hold my hands up and say I'm wrong. But I fail to see how a team that won the Premier League last season, got to a Carabao Cup final, I fail to see how that team, even with the amounts of changes it's made, with, God rest his soul, Jota passing away, and obviously the likes of Nunez and Diaz moving on, I fail to see how that team that has been reinforced with so much money and so much talent and quality drops to an incredibly low level in every metric that you can think of in football. How they just all drop with no signs of improvement, no signs of consistency, and nothing to cling on to in terms of hope that things are going to get better. I don't understand how that even happens in that amount of time. Some rival fans, especially Man United fans, are saying that we got karma. Not 100% sure karma from what, but okay. Again, United fans are all weird. Big up Nate, who's in the building. Lovely to have you here, my friend. It says, hi, lad from South Africa. Yeah, mate, it's been a disaster this season. Slot clearly can't make this team go to another level. Last season's league title history now is poisoned us this year. Yeah, I mean, it's poisoned the board because the board can't see the bigger picture. And in typical fashion, the Liverpool board sit on their hands. Rather than be proactive, they are reactive, and they're reactive when it's too late. Look at what's happening with Slot. Look at what happened with Mark Gahey. We could have been sat here right now with Mark Gahey firmly in our ranks. And instead now he's at Man City and he's probably going to, in his first 6 months there, be a part of a team that has won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. They might even win the Premier League and the domestic treble in doing so. We are morons when it comes to this, but it shouldn't surprise any of us because it's not the first time, or will it be probably the last time, that we have a situation like this where a difficult decision has to be made. We have to be ruthless. We have to put the club first, and we decide, no, we will do it out of loyalty. We will do it out of respect and love for the manager or for the players. And sometimes it just can't work like that. Sometimes it can't. And Liverpool pay the price time and time again for that. We are so reactive rather than proactive. We see a problem and we decide to ignore it. We decide to ignore the problem and hope for the best. Like, we're out at sea, we're on a raft, and we see a tiny hole. And we go, maybe if we ignore it, maybe that hole will go away and maybe we can reach shore before it becomes a massive problem. Problem is, by the time later comes, the hole's got massively bigger and we're screwed. Look at what happened a few years ago when all of our defenders were injured. What did we do? Absolutely nothing until the final day of the January transfer window, where we signed Ben Davies and got in on loan Ozan Kabak. This club does not like being proactive. They like being reactive when it's too damn late. And I go back to my point I made just before the international break ended completely. I said that in 2 weeks' time, our season will be over. We will be out of the FA Cup. That has happened. We're not officially out of the Champions League yet, but I can't see us coming back against PSG at Anfield in the second leg. We're out of that competition. Top 5, I predicted we will not be getting it. I said that Everton and Brentford have probably got more chance of getting top 5 than we do. We're not going to beat Fulham on Saturday. We very well could draw to them. Don't get me wrong. We could get a point, but it ain't going to be good enough. Then we got the Merseyside derby straight after. I'm not looking forward to that game whatsoever. Everton are going to be right up for it, right up for the challenge, right up for the fight. First Merseyside derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and Liverpool are going to crumble under the pressure. They really are going to crumble under the pressure. Top 5 will be gone from that point forward. No one go to Anfield on Saturday. Slot needs to go. If only it was just that easy, bro. If only it was just that easy. Just because he won us the league doesn't mean we have to compromise standards and success. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea won the Champions League 13 years ago. Roberto Di Matteo. They rewarded him, and he actually won the double as well because they won the FA Cup in the same season, I believe. Unless I'm getting my years mixed up. They won the Champions League and FA Cup with Roberto Di Matteo, who came in after, I want to say, Andre Villas-Boas was the manager at Chelsea. Di Matteo came in, he won them the Champions League, he won them the FA Cup. Several months later, Chelsea's season was going down the toilet. Guess what happened? They sacked him. Didn't hold on to loyalty, didn't hold on to, well, you kind of owed something because you won us 2 major trophies. Nah, ruthless. Absolutely ruthless from Roman Abramovich. Absolutely ruthless from Chelsea. It wasn't going very well, so they got rid of him and they brought someone else in. Not saying that's the right decision every time. I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule. For example, if we were to do that when Jurgen Klopp was in charge and we had those couple of seasons where things kind of took a bit of a nosedive, might not have been the right call. But the difference between Slot in this situation and Klopp in the years that he was doing poor in is that at least with Klopp, there was something to always cling on to. There were circumstances as to why Klopp's Liverpool was not doing very well in those seasons. Injuries, loss of legs, poor recruitment in the summer by the board, whatever the case may be. But it wasn't through a lack of fight, and it wasn't through a lack of determination or dedication to the cause as to why those players fell off. It was just down to their bodies giving up on them. It was down to injuries, whatever the case may be. Those players would have still ran through brick walls for Jurgen Klopp, even when they weren't playing well. I can't say the same for these players under Arne Slot. I can't say that these players have the same confidence in Slot that they have done or would have done with Jurgen Klopp. I can't say that these players would run for a brick wall for this manager than they would for Jurgen Klopp or for any other manager. I genuinely can't say that. I'm really hoping fans can make the stand. Again, it's easier said than done. I completely agree with you. Big up Marco's in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. It says 0 shots on goal is shocking. We didn't land a punch on them, bro. We did not land a single glove on PSG last night. We were absolutely atrocious going forward. And even defensively. How can you change to a back 5 and be so poor still defensively? We might as well have not turned up. We might as well have not turned up yesterday. We might as well have just forfeited this game, forfeited the game next week and gone, we're done. We're done. We'll just, they can have a pass, they can have a bypass to the semi-finals. We're done because there's no point in us turning up. I feel sorry for the Liverpool fans that actually went to Paris last night. I feel sorry for them that spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort to get to Paris last night to watch a toothless, ineffective, useless performance. Still hasn't been sacked. Yeah, we are 9 o'clock. We're at 9 o'clock UK time. And there has been no official statement stating he's been sacked. We shall see. What is the point of even having this manager here? Complete negligence from the hierarchy. Yeah, They've let it go on for too long. They've let it go on for too long. Like I say, it should have happened. It should have happened after Man United. It didn't. It should have happened after Nottingham Forest. It didn't. It should have happened after PSV. It didn't. Just utter. Just abysmal. Just abysmal. If this was any other work of life, he'd have been sacked long ago. He'd have been sacked long ago. Big up. I hope I'm not butchering your name, bro. I do apologize if I butcher your name. Me and names do not get along. So I do apologize if I mispronounce his name or I butcher it completely. But Lille, I'll go with Lille. I do apologize. Let me know in the chat if you're still here, if I'm pronouncing the name right. I do apologize. It says, hey there, mate. Now, new to the channel, but I just wanted to ask if you think the lads can turn it around at Anfield. I'll be honest with you, like, if any club is going to do it in spite of who's in charge, it would be Liverpool. Real Madrid, maybe, but Liverpool. It's happened before. We know magical nights at Anfield exist and do happen, but this is one step too far for me. PSG are too damn good. PSG are just too damn good. And we have no plan and no idea on how to match them. We've got nothing. We've got no idea on how to match them. We've got a manager who thought that the best way to approach the game last night was to go pretty much toe-to-toe with them, man-to-man. Against a team that is extremely fluid, a team that rotates heavily, a team that is telepathic, seemingly, in their ability to know what position to be in and when, and also have the awareness to know which person and which player from which position has moved away from their position into another position. They are unbelievable in how well drilled they are. They are unbelievable in terms of how aware and how alert they are from start to finish. And you want to know what the sad thing is as well? They've lost a step from last season. As good as what PSG were last night, as good as what they've been for most of this campaign, I feel like the PSG of last year was better. Now, maybe it's one of those things where it's like, maybe they're a bit of a slow starter. Maybe it's like they're going to now start shifting through the gears, and maybe they are going to, absolutely start tearing teams apart. But I feel like when Liverpool faced them last year, even though we won this particular game in France in the first leg, we obviously had Harvey Elliott and Alisson Becker to thank for their absolute heroics. But in both legs, PSG were the better side for most of the game. We probably had about a half an hour spell in the second leg where we were probably the better side. But throughout the majority of the 90 minutes in the Parc des France and the 120 minutes at Anfield, they were the better side. This time around, they've got a 2-goal lead. I don't trust us to. I trust us to score one goal, and even then, that might be from like a free kick. Maybe Dominic Soboslai pops up with another free kick from distance. But I don't trust us to stop them from scoring again and again and again. I really don't. No matter what formation we play, no matter what personnel we play, I don't trust us defensively at all. I really, really don't. And like I say, if it wasn't for Ousmane Dembele basically turning into Darwin Núñez last night, they could have had 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals, maybe even double figures, because they were just that damn good, only being in second gear. They didn't have to break a sweat. They didn't have to do much. They just popped that ball around for fun. And like I say, it took them a while to get going. I think the 5 at the back sort of threw them off. And I think they were expecting Liverpool, a bit more from Liverpool themselves in terms of counter-attacking and maybe going a bit more direct and stuff. But when it never came, that's when you started to see towards the end of the game, PSG go, oh, these guys have got nothing. These guys have got nothing. What have we been scared for throughout most of the game? These guys have got nothing. They've not even brought Salah off the bench. They've not even brought that incredible 17-year-old kid that they basically pin all their hopes on of doing something in the final third. It's atrocious across the board from us. It really, really is. Like I say, 2-0 absolutely flatters us. We were beaten, victimized, and conquered by PSG last night. The way it's only 2-0 is ridiculous. I don't know. Like I say, there's only one positive to take away from last night. There's only one positive to take away from last night. And that is that we are a game closer to this tragic season ending. That's it. That is the upside about last night. We are one game closer to the end of the season. Fletch, why? After last season, I thought all of those years of nothing was behind us. Why cry? This is the first season I bought myself all the kits since I was a kid. I did the same thing, bro. I mean, I didn't buy all the kits because Jesus Christ, they're absolutely expensive. But I bought the new home kit. Because I got excited. I was seeing all the new shiny players we were buying. I saw Wirtz, I saw Frimpong, I saw Kirkez, I saw Isak. And I was like, oh, right, this is it. This is what I've been hoping for. This is what I've been praying for from Liverpool. It's about time we started flexing our wealth and acting like the big club that we claim to be. And then we go and mess it up in the space of 6 months. Maybe I just shouldn't buy the kit from now on. Maybe I should just leave it, you know? Maybe we perform it better in seasons where I don't go and buy the actual kit. I don't know. should just stick to other. I should just stick to my mystery kits. I'll just stick to my mystery kits rather than buy Liverpool ones. Big up Dina's in the building, bro. Lovely to have you here, mate. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Other than the fact that Liverpool are, of course, painful. But yeah, big up to you, Dean. Hope you're doing well. Says hi, Flex. Nice to see that Liverpool are chucking their season down the toilet. Yeah. I mean, again, bro, it's nothing more than what we've been saying all season. Like I say, it's becoming repetitive with us, isn't it? We're saying the same things over and over again, and even when we're saying things and they're coming true, we're still being left somewhat frustrated. It's actually incredible. We're actually being left still frustrated, even though what we are predicting I just don't get it, bro. I just don't get it at all. Big up Lee Green, who's in the building. I know at times some of our players have been poor on the pitch, but I know they are better than that. They've been so poorly managed, it's tough to watch. I also think they've been hung out to dry as well. Look, Ekatike wasn't great last night. And I would expect him to show a bit more fight in the press. I would expect him to have a better first touch. Like better first touch and to hold up the play better than what he did do last night. But Jesus Christ, he had absolutely nothing to go off of last night. Yeah, well, very little. Florian Wirtz. He only had one person ahead of him, and that was Ekatike. That was it. He had Ekatike to play off of all night, and Ekatike was a shambles. Like, talk about hanging him out to dry. Like, he was so ineffective in a team that had very little going forward. Like, what do you expect? Like, you buy him as our main creator, and you're not giving him the players around him so he can create. What do you expect him to do? It's like hiring a chef and going, right, well, we've got some rice. Good luck. Make me a 5-star meal. Like, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. Big up Lee's in the building. Love to have you here, my friend. It says, all I took from it was it could have been far, far worse. And yes, I am 100% on board with this statement right here. It could have been far, far worse. To the casual viewer and to people who didn't watch last night's game, they probably saw PSG 2, Liverpool 0. And it may have seemed like PSG showed mercy to Liverpool. Maybe they took their foot off the pedal a little bit. Maybe Liverpool actually battled hard in order to reduce the potential and predicted deficit of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals, as many people were predicting. But if you actually watch the game as well, you will know that 2-0 flatters Liverpool to no end. 2-0 is the bare minimum that PSG deserved. And if it wasn't for a combination of, like I said earlier, PSG missing golden opportunities. I mean, Dembele could have had 2. He should have definitely scored when he was on the penalty spot. He should have probably hit the back of the net as well when he struck the post. If it wasn't for Dembele, especially being poor on the night, and Mamadashvili keeping Liverpool in the game, the only Liverpool player to keep his head, to have any sort of credit in walking off the pitch last night. It would have been more. You are 100% right, Lee. You are 120% right. I'm serious. Each time you buy a kit or any Lucky Pants, we go pants. I think I get what you mean, bro. I get what you mean. Oh, it's weird how things like that seem to occur, isn't it? It's weird how things like that seem to occur. I don't feel upset anymore. I get you, man. I get you. Like, I kind of wish I felt the same way, but for whatever reason, I don't. I don't. I'm disjointed from this season. I am so disconnected from this team. But at the same time, in feeling disconnected, I still, for some reason, get annoyed. Like, I knew we were going to get battered yesterday. I made a live stream on it the other day stating that we're going to get destroyed by PSG and we have probably a 5% chance of actually leaving the Parc des Princes with something to go back to Anfield with. I said we'd get destroyed. It was probably the easiest prediction you're ever going to make in your life because I would say that probably 98% of football fans in general would have predicted PSG to win the game, to destroy Liverpool. And yet, I'm still annoyed and frustrated because although I did predict Liverpool to get battered, I was at least hoping that we would show some sort of fight. I was still hoping we would show some sort of level of energy in which we would go down swinging, you know? And instead, we got nothing. We got nothing. We got no shot on goal. We got nothing. Absolutely nothing to show. And that's exactly what we deserved. Because we put in zero effort and got nothing out of it. And that's exactly what we deserved. Exactly what we deserved. Nothing from the game. Like I say, PSG should have scored more. That's the only thing I can say negative on PSG. The only thing negative I can say on PSG last night was the fact that they didn't score more. And the fact that they didn't get a penalty at the end as well. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, Champions League refs are weird. Champions League refs are weird. I still remember Szoboszlai giving away a penalty against Galatasaray for the softest of fouls, right? Konate pushes him in the back, pushes the guy in the back, not even like a shoulder, not even like trying to muscle him out the way to get the ball or anything. Literally pushes him in the back. And the referee plays on. The VAR does not interfere. I am baffled by that decision. So baffled. It was almost like the referee felt sorry for us. It was almost like VAR, the people operating VAR felt sorry for us. It was almost like they were all feeling sorry for us and therefore they didn't give the penalty. Big up Gerson is in the building. Lovely to have you here with us, my friend. Says we're not going to beat PSG next Tuesday. that coach is an experienced coach, and he'll come up with a different game plan to beat us. And this it will be worse. You want to know what the other thing is as well? PSG got their game against, is it Lons? I want to say it's Lons. I don't remember who the game is against. They were meant to be playing this weekend anyway. They got their game moved for the game, for the priority of getting the game against Liverpool at Anfield out the way and done with. Honestly, that was probably now seen as a waste of time from them. That was probably seen as a waste of time from the club now. They could have easily gone, played their league game, won that game, and then gone to Liverpool, put in a half-assed performance, and still managed to come out with a ticket to the semi-finals of the Champions League this year. Simple as that. A complete waste of time to prioritise for Liverpool. And it's quite nice that people still think we're this fearful, incredible team. It's nice of people to think that, but it clearly displays as well that they've not been watching us this season, because if they'd have watched us, they would have not cared that they had a league game a few days before their game against Liverpool. They should have just played it. Like, they could put their B team against us next week and we'd still struggle. That's just a testament to how good PSG are, but it's also a testament to how bad we are. So, yeah, it is what it is. The Fulham game on Saturday looks like it will be another defeat. Fulham should be confident of winning, because I don't hold much hope for a Liverpool win. I think I'm going for a draw in that game. And again, I'm not entirely confident. Did I go? I think I went with draw in my predictions previously. Yeah, I think I'm going with draw, but that's probably the best it gets for Liverpool. If Fulham do win, again, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Like, Fulham can be a bit of a bogey side for most clubs anyway. But you know, it wouldn't matter where they were, because we would struggle against anybody. We've struggled against bottom of the table Wolves. We've struggled against relegation threatened Nottingham Forest. We struggled against relegation threatened Tottenham. We struggled against Burnley. We struggled against Leeds. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we face, we struggle. And that's why I can't understand or wrap my head around why this manager's still here. I don't get it. I also want to see if I can find it, because there was a baffling piece from the Athletic. I want to see if I can find. I think it's this one. Let me just. Yeah, you get pieces like this. Let me just bring it up. You get pieces like this from the Athletic. Switching to a back five from the start was one of the only tactical tweaks Arne Slot has yet to opt for with Liverpool this season. Injuries at right back, poor form for Mo Salah, and big money spent on forwards has meant a lot of reshuffling. This change was to add protection for a leaky defence who had to face the free scoring European champions away from home. Without ever being great or dominating possession, Liverpool showed the shape might become an effective blueprint for the Premier League. They pressed well and stifled PSG's deep build-up in the first half. The first half, not the second half, just the first half, because as we know, games of football are 45 minutes. At times, they were pulled around the pitch by PSG's rotations. They do that to most opponents. And Luis Enrique's team found space in the behind the centre backs when Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate went tight in their marking. What a load of crap. The guy who wrote this, unbelievable. Like, did Arne Slot pay him? Did Arne Slot pay him to write that? Like, first and foremost, we go to a back five, which, okay, I've told him that he needs to do something different. He did something different. I'll give him that. Injuries at right back, okay, he's got nothing to do. He's got no problem with that. But at the same time, he didn't want to play our most natural choice right back at right back. He wanted to play a midfielder at right back. So that's on him. Poor form of Mo Salah. Hey, everybody's been poor this season. Not just Salah. Gakpo's been atrocious. Gravenberch has been atrocious. Van Dijk's been appalling. Konate has been absolutely terrible. But hey, let's focus on Salah. And big money spent on forwards has meant a lot of reshuffling. Isak didn't get any service when he was here. He has been out for most of the second half of the season with a leg break. This change was to add protection to a leaky defence who had to face the free-scoring European champions away from home. Protection to the back, to the defence. PSG finished the game with 18 shots in total, 4 big chances created, and an XG of 2.35. Eight of their shots came in the first half, and 1 big chance was also created in the first half from them. What is this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about? And I sort of had a feeling that this would happen. If Liverpool did show a little bit of fight, if Liverpool did show a bit of awkwardness and trickiness to their game against PSG, I sort of knew articles would come out like this, where we're protecting and defending Arne Slot. But this is just atrocious across the board. We did not press well. How can you press well when your centre-backs are basically the furthest players forward at times? How can you press well when you're having Ibrahima Konate run out of defence to go and track down Nuno Mendes? How are you having it so that your left centre-back in Joe Gomez is running out to track Hakimi? You can't go man for man against PSG, who are so good at rotations, as you so pointed out. But yet we did, and we looked stupid for doing it because we got beat pretty much every single time. And the only reason why PSG were not free scoring, as you put it, was because PSG missed golden opportunities. It's almost like we didn't watch the same game, this reporter and myself. Incredible. It really is. Slot has to go now. He isn't going to win the fans back. It's over, is what James is saying here, and I completely agree with you, sir. I actually bet on us losing 4-0. I need to hang my head in shame, is what Bush Baptist here. Bro, I mean, I can't think of many people that were that positive. To put a spin on it, I can't think of many people that were that positive that we'd only lose by 4, in all honesty. Up until now, still no identity, style, patterns of play, no team togetherness. Yeah. We're almost at the end of the season and we've progressively got worse than where we were at the beginning of the season. At least at the beginning of the season, there was flashes and glimpses of, you know, what could be at Liverpool. But there's been no follow-up. It's been absolutely atrocious from start to finish. Sack the bold fraud now. I'm no better than a mank. Bless you. Hi, Luca. Welcome to the show, my friend. Lovely to have you here with us. Guys, go and follow Luca's channel, doing some awesome stuff over there. Arsenal fan, MK Dons fan. Broaden your footballing horizons. There's something for everyone on Luca's channel. Go and show him some love and some support. You okay? To be honest, Liverpool need to fix up. Slot isn't an answer. You need to sign 5 players in the summer. Slot problem. I mean, 5 players. What did I say the other day? 2 centre-backs. We've already got 1 coming in. Need a minimum of 2 centre-backs. I said we need a DM. We obviously need a right winger now. I think we also need a left winger to replace Gakpo. We're going to need a midfielder probably, if depending on the situation with McAllister and Gravenberch and Soboslai. And we'll probably cheap out and probably bring back Simicast when Robertson leaves at the end of the season. So we probably need about 6 or 7, to be honest. Don't do the meme. Don't do the meme. To be honest, Liverpool needs to sign backup keeper to support Alisson. You need left back. Kirk's not good enough. Andy getting older. Need partner with Gravenberch and Elise. I mean, I don't think Mamardashvili's that bad. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's been a little unlucky. I think Gravenberch is... I think Mamardashvili's been a little unlucky. Not only that as well, but has anybody noticed that every time we play the ball back to him, 9 times out of 10, it's on his right foot? I know we're so used to playing with Alisson, who's right-footed, but Jesus Christ, the guy's left-footed. Give it to him on his left foot. Give the ball to the guy on his left foot. He is left-footed. Stop giving it to him on his wrong foot. Morons. I actually disagree with the Kirkes thing as well. I think Kirkes has been, since the beginning of the year, I think Kirkes has been one of our better performing players. Like, not perfect, but I think he has definitely improved from where he was at the beginning of the season. So I kind of disagree on the Kirkes point. I get your point about Robertson. He's probably not going to be here at the end of the season. The likelihood is like I say, we're probably going to recall Tsimikas from his loan, and we're probably going to have him be our backup left back again for the next season, which I don't think he'll necessarily want, but it's a cheaper option than buying a left back when we need to buy like 6 other players in different positions. So we'll probably cheap out on that. Gravenberch. Oh god, I don't even know if his legs are gone. There's no point partnering him up with someone if his legs have gone. I don't know. I don't know if his legs are gone. Elise would be a dream signing, but let's be real. If we're not getting top 5, we're not getting Michael Elise. Simple as that. We're not getting Michael Elise if we don't get top 5. At least if we have top 5, we've got a fighting chance of getting him. And even then, would you want to come to Liverpool in the state we are right now? Unless we can share some clarity and some transparency on the future of the club, which would be, is Michael Edwards staying? Is Richard Hughes staying? And somewhat more importantly, is Arne Slot staying or not? Maybe we'll have a bit more of a fighting chance. But until then, I don't know. I don't know what the future is like at Liverpool. How many signings Liverpool need? Like I say, I would say 6. I would say 6. I'd say that I know we've got a centre back coming in, so I reckon we need probably 2 more centre backs as a minimum. Considering Konate's contract situation still very much up in the air, and Gomez is made of breadsticks. I'd say 2 more centre backs. So that's 2. We need a proper DM. Proper DM. But that's going to cost some serious money. But we need a proper DM. We need a right winger. We need a left winger to replace Salah and Gakpo. And we need potentially another central midfielder, because I'm not completely convinced by McAllister and Gravenberch right now. I'm not completely convinced. And maybe I have PTSD from seeing the likes of Henderson and Fabinho fall off so quickly. But I'm not convinced by either of those two right now. And I'm starting to worry that maybe they are heading down a similar route. And then obviously, depending on the Tsimikas and Robertson situation, 7 with a left back. And then we have to hope and pray that both Frimpong and Connor Bradley on the right-hand side stay fit. But again, no guarantees. Which game is important? Fulham on the weekend or second leg of PSG? Given the context of how PSG has gone yesterday, Fulham is more important. Because I'm not convinced there's going to be a turnaround against PSG. And as much as obviously the PSG game is our last opportunity at maybe getting towards a trophy, I don't see it being the case. I genuinely don't see it being the case. So, of course, in the context of there potentially being a trophy leading up to it, PSG is more important. But in terms of being realistic, it's probably a no-brainer that, you know, Fulham is probably more important because we need to get back in the Champions League for next year. Simple as that. Don't take these reporters seriously. They are all United fans and happy for Slot to stay, says Football Knowledge. Big up to you, my bro. Lovely to have you here. Yeah, they probably are, to be fair. I mean, like, not being genuine, but like, yeah, I get what you mean. some of it is engagement farming, some of it is clickbaity, and they want to draw a reaction. I get that, but I just thought it was worth pointing out that those are the kind of things I was expecting should Liverpool put in a bit more of a difficult performance, shall we say. Big up, not Karen, who's in the building. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Lovely to have you here with us. Eric Crowley says, "Are you a Liverpool fan?" Yes, I am. Canate and Van Dijk are awful. I agree this season. Another non-Scouse cop-out. Okay, strange comment, considering that, you know, there are a lot of Liverpool fans and a lot of fans of other clubs as well who are not from their particular area. And if you look at the vast majority of the Liverpool squad as well, you'll probably understand that not everybody in that squad's a Scouser. So, again, I don't understand when people go down this route of, oh, another Liverpool fan who's not a Scouser. Shockingly, you can actually support other clubs from where you are not from. Just saying. Big up Reluctant Gamers in the building. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you here with us. All of those Liverpool... I can't even read. All of those Liverpool will be great in the World Cup. They want to sack Slot. I actually can't wait for the World Cup. I can't wait for the World Cup. I'm never normally like that. I'm never normally like, I want the season to end, but Jesus Christ, I want this season to end. PSG should have scored more goals. You're still in the fight. I mean, whilst it's 2-0, yeah, the tie isn't over. The tie isn't over at 2-0. The problem is that I'm not convinced we're going to show fight to get back in the fight. You know what I mean? And if we do, we are a mistake away from going right back to the beginning of this next 90 minutes against PSG. So, again, I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced by it all. I'm worried that it's going to be humiliating and embarrassing. And then by this time next week, he could be out the job. Does he go? To the Liverpool fans that are still in the chat, it doesn't look like... I feel like if he was going to go, he would have gone by now. I don't know why they would take their time if they were going to sack him right now. So, let's just say, for argument's sake, we don't come back from this. There's no remontada. There's no comeback. There's no incredible night at Anfield yet again. Does he get sacked before the season's done? Or do we just go, you know what, we'll have 6 games left of the season. We might as well just ride it out between now and the end of the season. Does Slot go before the end of the campaign? Let me know what you think. Virgil should stop shouting at the other players. He's not that good also. He's the leader. If he wasn't shouting, you'd be questioning why he's not shouting. You'll be questioning why he's not displaying his leadership skills. Granted, I agree with you. He's not been great this season, but there's a reason he's captain. There's a reason that players look up to him, and there's a reason why he's been the best centre-back in the Premier League for God knows how long, since whenever. Gotta go, Fletch. Have a nice weekend. You too, bro. You too. Lovely to have you here with us, and I hope you're staying well, my friend. Hope you're doing well, Dean. Lovely to have you here with us, talking football as always with you. I think Slot has one chance. I don't understand why. I don't like. Let's play. Let's play the game of what you're saying is true. What is there? What is there to cling on to for one last chance, for one last hope, for one last hurrah? What is there to cling on to? Is there something I'm overlooking? Is there something that I'm not seeing? I don't know. I don't get it. Unless you've got a good manager in line. There's one free right now. There is one free right now. And here's the thing as well. Even if he doesn't want the job, just say, look, can we negotiate a deal where you take over in the summer? We'll get rid of Slot. We promise. We'll have it written down in contract form. We'll get rid of him in the summer. We'll bring you in. Get some clarity. Alonso's right there. He will have no Salah. He might be able to get better balance after the window. The problem with that is that look at the games that we've played with no Salah. With no Salah, like the month that he had where he went unbeaten and Salah was at AFCON. Okay, he went unbeaten, but it's not as if the games were exciting or anything. He just had a favorable run of games, which ended with him getting some okay results. The performances were still shambolic and poor, but he got some okay results because the opposition weren't great. You look at the game against Leeds when he dropped him after the whole incident. Shocking. When he dropped him against Sunderland. We could have lost that game if it hadn't been for Federico Chiesa's heroics, saving the ball on the goal line. Salah's not the issue. Salah is most certainly not the main issue here. Who's the managers have? For me, it's Alonso. For me, it's Xabi Alonso. Like, unless Luis Enrique comes out and goes, I'm leaving PSG at the end of the season, then yes, go for Luis Enrique. But as long as you get one or the other, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Get one or the other. If he wins next season, league, remember I said give him one more chance. No, I don't want to be right, bro. I don't want to be right in terms of I don't think Slot can turn it around. I don't want to be right in that. I obviously want to give him every opportunity at turning it around. I want him to, at the end of this season, prove me wrong by managing to somehow overturn the 2-goal deficit against PSG and going on to beat either one of Real Madrid or Barcelona in the semis, and then beating either one of whoever he's going to meet in the final. I want him to prove me wrong so much because my love for Liverpool does not outweigh my want to be right or anything like that. I want to be proven wrong. The problem is that I can't see it happening because I've had no proof. There's been no proof this season. There's been absolutely no proof this season that anything's going to turn around, anything's going to change. It started off poorly, but we were getting results. And we all said to ourselves, it's only going to get better from here. More cohesion in the team, a better understanding, it will get better. And it just hasn't. It just hasn't from start to finish. Or UCL. Yeah. One or the other. Go out there and prove me wrong. But I don't want to waste another year when Alonso's available right now. And I think that whilst nothing is a guarantee in football, Alonso might be a very good fit. To be honest, Slot has done terrible this season with the players. Exactly that. Exactly that. To be honest, I would take Alonso. Yeah. I agree. Should have kept Diaz. He kept Gakpo because they're in the same country. I heard that's true. That's not good. I think Diaz wanted to leave, to be fair. I think I'm right in saying that Diaz wanted to leave. There was obviously talk that he might have left the year before. The move fell through, and I think Liverpool basically said, look, we'll keep you for another year and then we'll sell you at the end of the year or whatever. Diaz went on to have a good season, and I think Liverpool honoured that by selling him to Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Here's the thing that a lot of people seem to cling on to. They seem to think that Diaz would be performing for Liverpool the same way he is performing right now for Bayern. I find that laughable. I don't think, obviously we'll never know, but I don't think there is a world in which Luis Diaz puts up the numbers that he's putting up for Bayern Munich in this Liverpool team. I just don't. I think if Luis Diaz was to be performing in this Liverpool team, he'd be as mediocre and as frustrating to watch as all the others are. The only difference is that he might every now and again take on a player. He might every now and again, run at a player. Gakpo doesn't do that. Gakpo cuts inside and puts it in Rosette. It's the only difference with Luis Diaz right now. You're a massive club. Realistically, you should be getting a big manager. Alonso, not a big manager. Not sure how he would do. But he knows the club. He knows the club. We love him from his time at our club. He's won Champions League with us as a player. So he knows and understands the club in that aspect. So instantly, he's got a foot in the door. Also, I look at his Leverkusen record. Truly incredible what he did with Leverkusen. Obviously, winning the domestic title, winning the domestic cup, almost going an entire season in all competitions unbeaten, only losing in the Europa League final. Phenomenal. Goes to Real Madrid. Doesn't last the season, but had a very, very strong record with Madrid. Something like, 80% win record or something along those lines. Very good record. He just wasn't the right fit for Madrid because A, they're crazy, and B, they want a manager more than a coach. They need a manager more than a coach. So it didn't work out in that aspect. For me, I understand that he can get a bigger name, but at the same time, why not go down this route of someone to build a long-standing dynasty and legacy with? Why not go down a long-term manager route than someone who's only going to be here for about 2 or 3 years and then they're going to look for another challenge elsewhere. Like, I like the idea of Alonso staying at Liverpool for about a decade and trying to build something massive. I like that idea. Whether it will happen or not remains to be seen. If Diastadi would have definitely performed better than Gakpo, him and Ekatike would probably cook. Maybe. I mean, we'll never know, but I don't necessarily think so in this current system because it's making everybody look mediocre and awkward. So I've got reservations on it. But yes, he would be performing better than Gakpo. Anybody would. It's the reason why we have a 17-year-old kid who a lot of us, including myself, are hoping and praying gets more opportunities. But that remains to be seen. I used to enjoy Alonso for Liverpool. He was amazing. He truly was. He truly was an absolute wizard. An absolute wizard. I think Liverpool will wait and get Alonso when the league is over. I hope you're right. And well, it should have happened a long time ago, but I hope in the end we do get Alonso regardless. So, yeah, another day, another frustrating time to be a Liverpool fan. We're going to end it there, guys. We're going to end it there. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening. Do me a massive favor. Hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated from you all. You guys are absolutely awesome. I cannot thank you all enough for the love and the support that the channel has been receiving. You guys, like I say, it means the world to me. So thank you to each and every single one of you. Like I say, as always, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Hit the comments section as well on playback. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about anything that I talked about in the video, or whether it's anything that you guys want to talk about for future videos or live streams to come. Let me know. As always, I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. I will see and speak with you guys all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care of yourselves. And as Reluctant Gamer here says, peace. Take care.